Welcome back. Now we want to talk with Bill about his young adult days.
For me, my teens were very enjoyable. I was one of those who don't muck into the middle of the night for my exam. I still remember the next day was my senior Cambridge examination. The night before, I still had a party.
But did you do well? Did you get through?
I did pretty good. I didn't get a grade 1, but I still got a grade 2, and I had excellent grades in English and literature and scripture. Everything, I had good grades in everything with a word, but I was horrible in maths. I just got a P, I think, for maths. But in those days, maths was compulsory. If you don't pass maths, no matter what other result you had in your other subject, you fail the whole exam. So I just scraped through my maths with a P, and with my other A's, I got a grade 2. It was good enough for me. And I used to tell my friends who were mugging into the middle of the night, and when they reached the examination hall, everything was blank, and they failed. I said, there's no use mugging. All you needed to do was to pay attention in class, make short notes if you have to, and then just remember. And then you can enjoy yourself. But they didn't believe me. They wanted the marks. So in the end, I did pretty good.
But let's talk about the recreational activities. What did young people do during those times?
In Ipoh, we have no luxury of swimming pools. So in order to get a swim, I cycled 24 miles to a mining pool to get a swim. And that probably toughened us up.
Well, a group of you went, not you.
Of course, a group of us. But
boys and girls?
Boys and girls, yeah. Toughen us up more than other people, I think. And of course, whenever we could, we also went to the Kinta River. Ipoh has a famous Kinta River, which is not as polluted as not polluted like it is now. So we could swim there too, you know. But no luxury of swimming pools and so on, you know.
And where did you cycle? Far away or close by?
We call it around the town, because Ipoh is divided into Old Town and New Town. So we cycle from Old Town to New Town, and New Town to the suburbs. And that was actually a period for courting more than anything else.
Tell us what it was like.
Yeah, so we put our girlfriend on a bicycle, and we cycle and we chat along the way. Yeah.
And what about in the evening?
Used to sing a lovely song to my wife.
Like?
Because of You. That was the song I quoted my wife with. It has a very meaningful lyrics.
Who sang that?
Was it Paige or was it something?
Okay, what was meaningful about it? We'll try and get a piece of that music.
Yeah,
but
because
what was so
of
meaningful?
you, there's a song in my heart.
Because of you, there's a song in my heart.
Okay, early adulthood. First, you worked as a cub reporter. You did not like it, and you gave it up. What happened after that?
Then joined the police force.
Okay, how did you join the police force?
Oh, it was through a classmate of mine who also joined together. He came up to me one day. Hey, say, you see the advertisement? $350, you know.
Was that high salary?
You say $350 in the 50s was big money, man.
Like how much today?
I would say in a few thousands.
Okay. How many candidates were there?
I don't know. At that time, I don't know, but eventually 67 of us reported at the police training school at that time. PTS, it was called Police Training School. 67 of us reported. And I said after 2 weeks, 47 left. The 20 fellows who quit are all Singaporeans.
Hang on. Okay.
That's the story.
So most of the people who quit were Singaporeans.
Yeah.
Why so?
Couldn't take the tough life.
And you think
Softies.
Malaysians were tougher?
We were tough. I told you, I had to cycle 24 miles to get a swim.
And Singaporeans don't cycle?
I don't think so. They had cars and buses to send them to swimming pools. I think that's what made us tougher. And eventually the whole force, practically, 80% of the force were Malayans. Even the commissioner at one time.
As a police officer, what were some of the activities that you had to handle, events that you had to handle?
My first posting was Orchard Road Police Station, where I on now stands. It was Tanglin and Cane Hill in those days, the 50s, was very colonial, right? So, but unfortunately, I was posted, again, I think because of my better quality of English. So I was posted there, and I had a number of run-in with white people. For example, I was on duty 5 o'clock, and then this Dutch fellow came into the station. I want to see the officer in charge. So I say, I am the officer in charge. And you? And I'm in my 19-year-old hot temper. I used a 4-letter word on him. So that was one complaint.
What complaint? He wrote in?
He wrote in, okay. And another one, I went to Tangling Club. My duty every month to go to Tangling Club to inspect their license, liquor license, to see that it's in order. I was in full uniform, and yet you had this Ang Mo coming up to me and say, "You are not allowed in here." And I used the 4-letter word. Another letter of complaint. One more. In the middle of the night, about 2 a.m., I just come back from investigating attempted suicide. Attempted suicide in those days was an offense. Okay, I just laid my head on my pillow and my phone rang, and I picked it up, and I heard on the other line, on the other side of the line, listen to this, my Chinese neighbor's dogs are barking. So I said, so you think I'm a vet? I banged down the phone. That another letter. I think after about 6 or 7 letters spread over a period, my boss said, "Young Teoh, this place is not for you." I said, "Sir, I agree. I'm going to send you to become OC Jurong." I said, "Thank you, sir."
Jurong was undeveloped at that time?
They were just starting to clear the land for Nanyang U, okay? But the Jurong was a very bad area because the OC in charge was an Indian officer named Dure. I still remember him. Crime was high. My first month or so was terrible. So much to do because nobody respected the officer in charge. Right? So crime was very. So I said, what can I do? So an idea came to me, and I was the first to start what is now neighbourhood policing, where you see the policemen going. Because I was a bachelor then, I had nothing to do on weekends, so I would just tell my mata-mata, come, ikut saya, you take your shotgun, come on a bone shaker bicycle that they used to give to us. I used to visit house to house.
That you think had a great impact?
Definitely had. And also another case that really made the people respect me was, this is already in another program called There Was a Time. When I was OC Jurong, the gambling was the biggest thing in that area.
Okay.
There was this big syndicate who were running gambling gambling den every night. But because I had a very good informer, so I knew everywhere where they were conducting having the gambling. So I used to raid every conceivable night that I could find time for. Until such time that they couldn't even find a house to offer to rent to them to run the net. They even set up a tent in Bulim Cemetery. That also I raided. So
because you had a very good informer.
I had a very good informer. So one day, one fellow walked into my office. He said, spoke to me in Hokkien. He said, "Rakau, big rock. Hey, tau kacil."
How old were you at this time?
I was only 20 plus. 20 plus, 20. So this fellow spoke to me in Hokkien. He said, "Rakau, saya tau kacil, can help with it."
Can you help me? Yeah.
I said, "Simi tai ji, I asked him why." "Hey, don't rate us every month we give you 4,000.
Now that's a handsome sum. How much is it equivalent to
I
now?
could buy a piece of land every month in Orchard Road, or a house anywhere in Singapore
For 4,000.
And because they knew I was a bachelor, we give you a virgin every 3 months.
So was this a syndicate triad or just?
No, gambling. I tell you the story of this thing because later on he became my friend. Okay, years later. So this Sami came and said, "Look, we are giving you this. Can help around. I don't." You see, my station is a very strange wooden. It's a wooden kind of hut. The station. It had these large windows, like go down to the floor. Just I'm sitting here. He's there. This is the window, huge one, and opposite the station is the coffee house. Every villager gathers. All the villagers gather for their chit chat. So when he offered me that, I caught hold of him by the scruff of his neck. I kicked him out of the window. You see?
You broke the glass.
No, there's no glass.
There's
The
no
window,
glass.
I
Okay.
kicked him out of the window, and the villagers saw him falling. Of course, later on they found out why he was kicked out, and the respect for me went up.
What made you so incorruptible? Because many people have fallen by the wayside. What was it in your...
One of the things that I remembered very specifically was when I was under training. Commandant of the training school was a British officer called Shamaudin. He used to give us little talks once in a while, and then sometimes he mentioned corruption. And I still remember what he exactly told me. The first cent you take will be the last cent and you regret it.
So these were your years as a young police constable.
Young inspector.
Okay, but then you moved on later to Special Branch.
I moved to Special Branch after the Hockley riots in 1955.
Okay, we'll move on to that, but we'll take a short break now. And when we come back, we'll talk about Bill Teoh's experience as a Special Branch officer.